What's good, everybody? Hope you are having a wonderful week so far. Podcast time, Eli and Fur. I've been wanting to get these girls on for a while, and I'm really happy they came on, especially at this time in our careers. We are both going through very similar situations. They're in the process of when this was recorded, they were in the process of going through their debut live show. They just released their second album, which is called Dreamscapes. Absolutely amazing. Go check it out. But yeah, I was really excited about this conversation because we're both in this like transitional period of like not giving up DJing, but like moving on to the live aspects of our careers. And yeah, it was just a great catch up. So without further ado, Eli and Fur. Drop in the microphones.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third time
That
lucky.
seems nice. Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
way better.
There we go.
Eli and Fur, how are you both?
We are wonderful.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really good. I can smell katsu curry being made in the background, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm talking to you guys, so I'm happy.
Oh, as are we.
How is this live show going? I want to know. I literally just want to talk to you about live shows and albums this whole time.
Yeah, that's what.
Same with us.
Yeah,
cool.
tell me
this,
about this live show.
Yeah, we're in like the same boat, aren't we? Because I saw you quit DJing, which was a great decision. It's a lot,
Right.
It's a lot, but it's been pretty kind of eye-opening and interesting. But it makes DJing seem a lot, I guess, less stress. But I think it's important that we're pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. I'm sure you'd agree with that. It's taking on a lot more. But yeah, it's going really well. I mean, there's only three. We're only doing 3 shows. You're doing quite a few more than us, but we sort of, because we haven't done it before, we were like, let's just do 3, make it kind of super special and see how we go, and like learn as much as we can from the 3 shows, and then kind of, I guess, continue at a later date.
Yeah, and also see if people like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know this is the first time you've ever done it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean we did like
we did Circle.
Yeah, we did
But
Circle.
there was no audience.
Yeah. There was no audience.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier when there's no audience, and you know, you can, if something goes wrong, you can just start again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
what was the process of like actually starting that though? Like, what was the process of like you two? Obviously, you got your new album out, Dreamscapes. Was it always like, let's write an album, let's do a live show, or was it just something that you guys just felt like you needed to do?
I feel like we've been wanting to do this for so long, and it's
Yeah.
just something that's always been like put on the shelf because we've been like too busy touring, or it's trying to keep up with like release schedules and stuff. So for this one, we were like, okay, it's happening for this album, because otherwise we're never going to do it. And we started rehearsing quite early in the year.
Yeah, because we were just kind of like, how long is this going to take?
And it took so long.
It took so long because I think the thing that was so difficult, and I don't know if you've found this with doing a live show as well, but a lot of the stuff that we want to do, we want to perform a lot of old tracks, but we obviously then have to go back into those projects, like find what how did we create this? What were we doing? What
do we still have that plugin?
Yeah, relearning it. Like, and also there's only 2 of us, and you know, it's electronic music, obviously, so it's not like we're just rocking up there with a band. Like but you know, it's like, okay, which parts are we gonna play? Like how, and that
much back and forth.
Oh my god, that was like the hardest part, is like, and how are we gonna construct this, and how that took the most time. And thank God we put aside a lot of time. But obviously, you know, we have to tour. That's how we make money. So it's kind of like balancing that thing, right? Like how much time do we need? Like how much do we want to give to this? But it's taken up a lot of time. And, you know, it has been so worth it. And I think
it's been amazing. Like, we've really pushed ourselves. Like, we were honestly so nervous when we played at the Fonda before, and that why we chose that as our first one, I don't know.
It's exactly the same for me. I literally am saying this to my team. I'm like, why the fuck are we doing the Fonda on the first time I've ever done a live show, and it's in LA? It's like, fuck's sake, guys.
Oh, but it's so, you know what? It was, we came off the stage and we were like, oh my God.
In some ways, though, throwing yourself that far into the deep end is good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, and it's such a cool venue, and it's a nice. The LA crowd, the Americans are always very welcoming.
And it's iconic. It's an iconic venue to be on the same stage as the Rolling Stones and Prince. You know, that for me,
it's mad, isn't it?
God. It's so mad.
It's mad to think that we're doing that.
Yeah,
it's wild.
But I guess I want to go deeper. I want to go deeper into the process of. Was it just you guys that kind of did the whole of the live show, in a sense of you created it from start to finish, or did you have like a bigger team helping you with that?
So we started off with like the structure of it. So what we started off with, kind of creating this project, I suppose, like a timeline of the set, the set, I guess, like kind of how we wanted to, you know, whether these tracks were going to go together. Are we going to stop here and then start again? Are we going to talk here? These tracks sound really beautiful together, like that kind of thing. So we built the whole thing, which took a long time. Then we decided what we were going to play on each track. A lot of it singing, so that was easy for us. And then we worked. We basically wanted to kind of have it basically like mixed properly so it sounds incredible. So we worked with a couple of people doing that and just kind of having it, I mean, I guess
just
we worked
breaking down all the stems and, you know, trying to get it to a place where it's like all cohesive as one.
Yeah. And then we were recommended this great guy, Nick Forrester, who works with our management company and like on other acts and stuff. And we met up with him, and he basically helped us. He's done a lot of live stuff, so helped us kind of work on getting that sounding like really good in like a big room, basically.
Which was amazing.
Yeah, which was really useful, especially in terms
How did he do that?
He came in and, well, we first met him in January, and he came and was like, yeah, you guys, like, I can't do anything right now. You've got to like, hi, nice to meet you.
He was like, you're going to need a little bit more time. So in the nicest way.
And so we did that. And then he came kind of like maybe a couple of months before we were doing the show. And actually, no, first we sent him the project, and we were like, can you, and he was basically going to just mix it on like fucking amazing speakers, and just get it sounding really, really good. I mean, we don't have like a super fancy studio, so it was really nice. And he's done a lot of that stuff. So he was an incredible help. And then also just in terms of like in-ears and mics and all that kind of stuff, which we've never used. We've never used in-ears. So he helped recommend that, helped us with that kind of stuff. And eventually came in, and we like ran every single track, and he bought his whole system. Like he bought like a proper like nice kind of system that he set up in Fur's house. Fur hasn't had her living room for like 6 months, and we just went through.
I feel you.
But then we went through like every track and I don't know, just kind of like worked on each sound and like what we needed to do to that sound. So like if there was like too much low end, like say she was playing like a really like heavy bass or whatever, we take some, you know, mute something else in the stems, and we just kind of went through it. It was a really, really long process, and like it's still happening, you know.
It's like a huge puzzle.
Yeah, like even at the Fonda, we were like, okay, this needs to change, this needs to change, this needs to change. Same with New York. Like I think the only way you can really learn is to go out there and do it. And it's really funny because you must also feel like this, like we're going in kind of like
blind.
We've so
Literally,
we've
yeah.
paid our dues in terms of DJing, right? We've done like shit gig after shit gig after shit gig, but we have not done that with the live show, and I feel like we've missed out on that kind of playing just smaller venues and like working out the kinks. So it has been so much pressure for us. Like, oh my god! Like before the Thunder, there's a video of us before we go on, and I'm just like,
I thought she was gonna fail. I thought she was gonna run, like in the Lion King. Like, what?
yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Is like obviously we've been fortunate enough that to like build a career of touring through DJing and through our music, and I argue, but maybe this is just because we've done it for so long. It's so easy what we do as a DJs, right? It's like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You press the wrong button, like, and the music turns off, and
alarm.
right, and all these things are like realistically very fixable issues. But I think when it comes to a live show, it's like it's just you. And people are paying really good money for something elevated realistically when they're buying a live show ticket. Maybe not. Maybe I'm putting this in like, maybe I'm putting more pressure on it than what it actually is. I don't know. But I know if I'm going to see a band.
There's definitely a little bit more work.
It's more special. I think people feel that 100%. Like you can, I think it would be sad if they didn't. And I think especially like the core fans and the people who really, really care, like they're going and they're seeing like not only the show, but understanding what it takes to do that. And I think you can feel it, and you can probably feel it from like, when you're playing, like the emotion is just kind of on another level. And
I've seen some videos from you. Say that again.
Yeah, no, I was just saying you really hope that people, feel that for sure.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know. I have zero idea I don't know what to expect. That's the thing. Is like I'm going in and I'm like, oh, fucking, let's see, let's hope for it. But I've seen some videos from yours and I've seen some visuals. Mm-hmm. Is there a big visual side to your show?
So basically the way that we did it is everyone has these sort of huge LED screens, and there's so much money in that now, and like just the way things have moved forward in the industry, I think, visually people expect a lot, which is obviously quite scary. So for us, we actually bought a sort of flame-proof white drape that you hang on a rod behind us, and then we just project on that, which, to be fair, looked pretty all right.
It looks great. It's kind of like got this.
It's it's not sharp, but you see enough that's
It looked sick on your Instagram.
It worked. I think it worked. I like the drape.
Oh, you know what? The
and
drape
we own
is
the
great.
drape.
We
now.
own the drape. We're not having.
We might start renting out drapes.
Yeah, I know. We're safe.
Let us know if you need a drape. Yeah,
that's actually a very, very good side hustle. But yeah, it's a great like affordable way to do it, and I think it looks like super cool.
It's kind of dreamy. We had the drape on the stage as well, sort of under us, which at first I was like, we're definitely going to slip over.
Yeah.
But we took our shoes off, so it was fine.
Yeah. But you can do, who needs, spending thousands of dollars on an LED wall? Just, hang up a white drape.
Get a bed sheet.
Eli Fur drape.
Yeah, get a bed sheet. Literally. They have kind of strict rules over here because you have to have your drape has to come with its like own document.
A document. And a
Does it really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's got to be fireproof. It's not quite as simple as it sounds, but
that's why it's a good investment.
How much was this drape?
I think it was
a lot.
It was $2,500.
Yes.
Between two and around that. But think how much it costs to get a massive LED wall.
I know, I'm doing a fucking LED screen.
Are you?
Okay. Well,
how much was that?
Exactly. Does it work out the same if you add it all up?
No comment.
Yeah. But you know what? It probably looks a lot.
There's still time to change your mind.
I
It's
know
right here
you guys
in
have
Los Angeles.
you guys have
opposite the Fonda.
changed.
We'll lend
You guys
our
are trying to
drink.
change me. 50 quid. 50 quid in his mind.
Seriously.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I think it's different though, because like realistically you guys are actually singing and you're doing like cool shit, where I think for me I'm just twiddling a few buttons and like I'm not that forefront as an artist in that way of like I'm not singing. I'm
right,
not
so
like
visuals
interacting.
are more of part of the performance in that sense. It doesn't like
Yeah.
I totally get that. And that'll look so
We've-
incredible.
What was the, I don't know how you guys, I've seen you DJ a couple of times, but how did you get over the fact that you have to talk to the crowd?
Oh. Yeah, that's quite scary. Eli's definitely better at that than I am.
We wrote some notes actually pre-Fonda.
We did.
We were like,
What did you write?
could say- I wish we still had the piece of paper. We didn't use any of it. Well, we used some of it.
Some of it.
Some of it. It was more of a like
Just like a
pointers. Yeah, pointers of like about a certain song that you wanted to like get across, right? But yeah, I mean, I think you're a great public speaker. I just mumble away. But I think the adrenaline just kicks in.
I think it's really important to engage with the crowd, but naturally I'm not. I'm an introvert, so I'm a bit like,
Yeah.
I'll stand behind Eli. But yeah, I think the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
Because you're just like...
And also you got to remember the best part about these shows, which I would say like these people are like your core fans. They're buying a ticket to see you.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're at a festival and a couple of people have just kind of wandered in and like you're trying to, make everybody happy. These are people who come in wanting you to succeed. And that is like an amazing feeling. You feel that immediately.
Yeah, it definitely gives you more confidence.
Yeah. So suddenly you're like, okay, well, these people really care. And you can be goofy and weird in yourself. And I think people will just appreciate that.
Yeah.
And not be like, interesting crowd chat.
I think that's the one thing I'm more nervous about is like genuinely having to talk.
I mean, I have a question. Do you like are there places where you want to talk, or are you just kind of...
I've got what...
At the end, bye.
Not even that. It's not even that. It's in the set list. It's not even at the end. That's the sad thing. It's like there's one point. There's like one part of the set where in the set list it literally says, "Will fucking grow up and talk," and it's like
that's good.
There's literally like 15 seconds, and that's it.
No, but that's I feel like you'll say like 3 times the amount that you were planning on saying.
Yeah.
Just 'cause of the excitement of it and how different it is.
You'll feel the room, you'll feel the crowd. It will all just come to you naturally.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. So, have you done all of the shows now? I know you've done 2.
No, we have one left, which is in London at Village Underground, and it's sold out.
Oh, cool! You're doing one here.
Yeah.
If you're around,
Please
you should come.
Okay, I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but when is it?
It's November the 16th.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if this podcast will be out then or not. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
It was a great show. Happy days.
Yeah. We had such a great night.
Yeah, it was so good. The stage chat was great.
So was the drink.
What? How many Pelly cases do you have?
3.
Yeah.
And the rest we just
How
put in
have you-
suitcases.
Oh, okay. How have you got
Like,
it
we've
down to
done this
so
on
low?
like a really tight budget as well, and like wrapped everything up in bubble wrap. It's been like quite makeshift. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I even brought my boyfriend just so he could bring a bag. I'm kidding. That's not the only reason I brought him.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like,
been
please
helpful.
come.
It is the only
He's
reason.
been amazing.
you know what? We have just we have a guitar case as well, and we have 2 big bags. I think we had 8 pieces of luggage on in New York.
We had 8, yeah.
But yeah. And then we ordered some specific stands to New York to arrive at the venue for sound check, which was pretty risky. But it worked.
Did they turn up?
They turned up, just in the nick of time.
Like literally an hour before sound check.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. Talk me through the sound check process.
Okay, so this has been quite involved because obviously working with Nick, it was the first time we ever worked with him. So we had not been in like a proper tech rehearsal, and we also have this great guy Manny who was doing the visuals. We hadn't done anything with him either, so it was basically like the day before we did a tech rehearsal with everybody and ran that and did that, and that was all great. That was super useful because it just meant we could really hear how everything sounded in like a proper room, as well as seeing on the screen the visuals and all that. And if there was any changes that we had to make, we could do that. And because we couldn't use, Nick wasn't available to do the sound for us in New York. Jonathan, who did our sound in New York, we basically did the same thing in New York, which actually, going back to it, was like financially not the best thing because you're having to rent like a tech room the day before. But it just was one of those things, like it was 3 shows and we couldn't have the same person for each show, so that's how we did that. And then we did a sound check the next day, so we kind of had a little extra time to really hone everything in and just make sure we were happy.
But it always sounds so different when you actually do it, like with the crowd and everything. It's like
you can't really predict it. But I think like the first, you'll probably feel like this as well. Like the first time you do it, you kind of like want to overdo everything and like really make sure that everything's perfect. I think probably like the more shows you get through, the more chill you get, and the kind of when you have a team that you really trust and you believe in, which is also a really difficult thing to do, to find people who really care, are really passionate and also really talented, and like have your vision. Like there's so many incredibly talented people out there, but you also have to be on the same page, and kind of it's hard to find somebody new who you've just met who like what interest do they have, you know what I mean? They have to be like a passionate person and get the project. And
well, it's also
really
like
too,
how can we expect to employ somebody that has literally never met us to be fully involved in this project as much as we are, right?
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing with your sound stuff for like fun? Do you have somebody coming with you, or do you have it? Is it different for each show, or like?
No, it's the one thing that I've. So there's a guy called Max who's an absolute fucking legend. Max has helped me build the like tech side of the show out, with like all the MIDI sync and all of that. He's advancing the show on a tech level where he's built the team. So we have like front of house / visual guy. We have LD, which is the guy that does the lights. And then we have tech guy, who's side stage, like monitor engineer, but also doing the engineer. So there's like 3 of us, and then videographer and manager. But
that's
so
great.
we're doing 2 days of rehearsal in LA beforehand, and then everybody, the whole team's staying.
Well, if you need a space to rehearse, let me know.
your living room.
Exactly.
That sounds like the way to do it, though. Like that's actually a really good way because you've got like one team. Like we had a few issues with like people at the venue who were doing stuff that we probably, I mean, like would have liked to have been cohesive and like had a team come with us on each show. But you learn these.
It's really hard though. It's really hard because like also we've had a couple of situations. It took us a long time to get a team because like we had one guy where he's a lovely dude and very talented, but also he was on a retainer for a pop band. So we agreed for him to come on, booked all the flights, and then he was like, guys, the pop band have just decided to go on tour and now I can't come on tour. So it's like you then like are like, fuck, like what do I do? Like we now have to find somebody new, and then it's like building that relationship up again. And it really does just home in on how easy it is to be a DJ.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying.
Yeah, Eli said to me, she said, I'm never going to get nervous before a DJ show ever again.
I have like really bad stage fright, and honestly, the stage fright that I got for these shows, I'm gonna just like, next time I DJ, it's gonna be like, hello, you know what I mean? It's like straight on, I'm here, I'm ready to perform kind of thing. Ready to party. I might even pick up the mic. Yeah, everybody. You know what I mean?
Get
like
on the
that
decks, standing up on the stage. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. How much of the live show is dreamscapes, and how much of it is found in the wild, and how much of it is not?
It's a real mix. I think that there is probably. Am I going to try and figure this out?
I'd say it's like
a third like older tracks, a third dreamscape.
Is it a pizza? Is that how you're seeing it right now? one slice of Venture.
Yeah. It's a big mix. It's a big mix because I think if people are going to come and
it's broad. It's definitely not all dreamscapes. I think we just picked off sort of favorites or whatever. Like we did like a post and we asked people what they wanted to hear, and we kind of did go off of that.
We've definitely done a lot of research on that and stuff because it's really funny. You'll look at your highest streaming tracks and none of them
no one cares about it.
And it's
exactly.
Or and there's stuff that so many people are asking for on social media, but it's like none of it ties up. So it's kind of you have to ask the people who are going to buy the tickets, right? That's like the most important.
Yeah.
And it's also, you never know who's going to buy the tickets in this day and age.
Yeah. It's all so random. I wish there was a formula.
Yeah, I've kind of just done like the whole album apart from one record, and then like 3 records from previous. I'm like going in on like originals and just being like, fuck it, you're gonna have to just live with me and bear with it.
I don't know. That's really cool because it's kind of like, here it is. I mean, people will then be passionate about that album, and like that does make sense. Like, I think it's a really cool way of showing people something. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. You've seen it live. Now let it go and buy it. I get that. I mean, that's also in itself really cool. It's hard.
What's the process? Yeah. It's so weird because we live in the industry that we work in is not necessarily it doesn't allow you to release non-house records, non-4/4 records, right? Because it's you then can't play it really in a set. It's not really like a DJ friendly. So I think you guys have written 2 albums, and there's a lot of records that you clearly love that you probably just can't DJ.
No. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, and we did have this kind of thing in the live set where it was like, the energy levels, and in some ways you do want to treat it like a DJ set, that you're not gonna like suddenly like bring it down, but in some ways we did do that.
Yeah, we did do that. I mean,
which was kind of frightening at times, but I think
it's frightening when you're so like you want
that
as a
energy.
DJ, like like what I mean, obviously it's nice to bore people sometimes for sure, because then they get excited. But like I do think it really is a scary thing. You're playing like a down tempo track that when you're not really sure which tracks people are there to hear. You know what I mean? It's like But I think
but I do think it makes you think differently as well about like making future music. Yeah. Since doing this, I'm like,
I think we'll make music totally differently.
I think we'll make it so differently, honestly. I really do.
Really?
Yeah.
How? Tell me.
I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of the time we're on the move, and it's like very back and forth the way that we make songs. And I think just having, this live setup, which is our studio, but in some ways hasn't been because it's been kind of broken up. To have it in one space and treat writing a song like you're performing.
Like how would this work in a live capacity?
Like literally going to your station and being like, okay, there's the crowd.
Yeah.
And put yourself under this pressure that we have never done before. Yeah. I think is going to be interesting.
Yeah. and all the stuff that we're using Ableton Link for everything, and so there's a sense sometimes in parts of the set where we'll just kind of jam out together.
It makes us want to go back to the early days of like jamming. And
and just kind of go like, it just feels more. I think we've had a renewed, kind of refreshed.
It's
idea.
It's been eye opening for sure, because I think you can get in your head as well and be like, oh, this is the last song we made. What are we doing next? And you sit down, and you start like overthinking everything. And I think in this capacity, it's going to be actually just really fun for us to not think about things like that. I don't know.
But I think that's what it's about, right? And I think we can get very jaded. I know I can't speak for you guys, but like the DJ culture of you release a single, but for months you play it out, you build a hype about it, and then people hear it in the clubs, and then it comes out, and then they can go and stream it. And it's just that over and over and over again. It doesn't really end. It's a never ending kind of thing that you just have to keep feeding the beast. Whereas I think when albums get involved, and I don't know, but from what you're saying with the live show is that it's more so building experiences rather than just feeding numbers.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. It's like inspiring in itself. And what's really cool about it is that you're inspired by the reaction of your core fans. So therefore you're getting feedback from that, and like, what do people love? And that again has always been our thing. It's been like, I mean, of course you want to have a successful track, we want to make a career out of this, but at the same time, like, it's such a different landscape now. Like it's about what the people who are buying your tickets want, and listening to that rather than, and building on that. And it's hard sometimes because you've got so many people in your ear, like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, and I think this has been so special for us. It's felt so good, and it's felt so natural to us, and it feels like the next step for us. And it's just we just cannot. I mean, we've been dying to just make music again now.
We've like, every time we're rehearsing, I'm like, okay, but what about this? And Eli's like, focus.
Why don't we make something?
I'm like, let's remix this again. And she's like, stop.
I think there's that's so refreshing to hear though. Like to hear people that are like, I don't often get it on here, or it doesn't feel authentic when people say they're so excited to write music again. But I think that's realistically, we all started this to write music. Like we didn't do this to make money. We didn't do this for hundreds of thousands of followers. We didn't do this for millions of streams. We did this to write music, and hopefully somebody listens to it. And I think there's a point where it switches, where it turns so business.
Yeah.
And what was that point for you guys?
I mean, I think for me, there was moments of working with different managements and, having other people's opinion sort of very loud and clear in my ear, and having to in some ways shut that out, because I think there were moments where it was like, people saying, where are you going with this? Like, what's your sound? Where do you fit? And I think the thing is with me and Eli is we've never fit anywhere. And we just, I don't know, that was a bit of a battle for us for a while, because we were like, are we going to make it? Are we good enough? We don't sound like this person. And then at the end, we were just like, okay, well, let's just try and put out the music we believe in. And that's just been the whole story of it, basically.
And it also, like, we've definitely been like a slow burn. Like, we've never had some like massive hit or anything like that. And I always say to people who are kind of starting out as well, like, just if you can have a career doing this. And it doesn't have to be this like massive moment. Like, great if the massive moment happens, but if this is what you want to do, like it can be a great job without being like at the very, very top.
Yeah.
Again, like being at the very top is amazing, and like it's something that obviously we all would be like excited to happen. But I think if you're chasing that, you start getting lost. You
start getting distracted.
Yeah. And so you want that moment to be this incredibly organic moment where however long it takes.
And usually those songs that do crossover are the story behind it is that it's like, the song was out for 6 months and no one noticed it, and then kaboom, it's
literally,
that's the only way it really happens to get that balance of not to cut you off, but to talk about like a crossover song. And I think you can get really in your head, when people start saying, well, what's next, and you have A&R people saying, well, this isn't very good.
Or I don't know, radio don't like this,
radio doesn't like it.
That a lot.
But you just have to, I don't know, I think we're just lucky we have each other, because I could not do this by myself.
Me neither. So it's really nice to have that, like, that encouragement from each other as well.
Is it also the yin and yang, where like
Definitely.
one person's down, the other person's up, and you can kind
We're
of
so good at it. We're so good at it now. It's been 15 years of highs and lows.
It's been like such a long journey, and it's been really fun. I think you just have to like get back up after falls, I suppose. That's the way that,
and try and not let it chew you up and spit you out, because it does to many people.
What was he?
How many times has it?
I don't know. We sidetracked so hard.
No, but I think you answered it. I can't even remember the question, but I think it's like, in my opinion, like, how do you still have that? Do you, like, I get it a lot, where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing this for? Like, why? What is the why? And it's like,
of course. I mean, everybody has self-doubt. Everybody feels like, what am I doing? I mean, anyone who doesn't feel like that, I think you're at the top or the bottom. Like, everybody
and also
feels
when
like
you've
that.
put in so much time.
You
know, it's like with any job. Like, if you're working a job for 15 years and then you're like, ooh,
am I?
It
like,
is.
what?
It is daunting. Like,
for sure.
But
I think that there are certain moments that we have together where we'll, like, for example, and you'll probably feel exactly the same, like, just coming off stage after doing like the first live show, we just hugged each other and were super emotional, and we're like, that is the feeling that we're chasing.
Yeah,
and, like,
just to keep working hard. And
and you'll get so many awful moments, but
definitely,
something like that makes it all worth it.
There are those what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Moments, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So
my god, I don't do it.
So that feeling of coming off off the live show for the first time, that feeling there, can you remember the last time you had that feeling, and what was that?
Oh my god, that's such a good question. Probably. Oh my god. Years ago.
I think for me, it's been like certain gigs that I've been nervous about, like bigger gigs, like bigger crowds and stuff, where I've been like,
wait,
ooh.
Coachella.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous for that, and then
that was pretty.
There's been a few others where it's just felt like a step up from the comfort of like what you're used to.
Actually, thinking about it, you saying that, it definitely is, I think, crowd response moments. Not that you're always chasing that, because everybody has bad gigs and good gigs, but or just, I don't know, meeting people after shows and just kind of them saying, your music has helped me, and just hearing stories like that. I think those are really fulfilling, and also I'm making a track, I think, that you're really proud of, for sure, as well. Little things like that, and getting excited about putting those things out into the world. I think coming off the stage at the Fonda felt like almost a year's worth of work that had just come into that one moment, and that was like extremely explosive. It was.
Sorry,
I'd push back on that though. I'd push back on that, because I'd pushed back on that. This like 15 years of work.
There you go. Exactly. That's so true as well. Exactly. I'm not. It's even more emotional.
We also not to sidetrack too hard, but we also had some issues at the sound check at the Fonda, which was terrifying, because
tell me, what were they?
What it was. We were getting this feedback through the mic lines, and we no one could understand. It was coming out of the house, like even the crowd could hear it, like
instantly,
like a sharp, deafening sound that you pull your ears out. And you're like crying, like, this is so bad.
and completely random at random times. It happened,
and we couldn't
twice.
figure it out. And eventually, we figured out that it was to do with somebody's laptop.
Yeah, he was. This guy that we were working with was running. He was running all the vocals through the effects on his laptop. He was doing all the monitoring and everything. Yeah,
and
he
it was
had,
every time like a message.
He got a WhatsApp.
A WhatsApp. Yeah, that's what it was.
It was the.
What the
and
fuck? He had WhatsApp on.
Yeah,
he was
so apologetic. He was like, "I'm
stamps.
so sorry. I'm so sorry."
But you know what? Good for him for admitting it.
Yeah, he could have not admitted it.
He could have been like, I don't know what it was. But that made us extra nervous.
Yeah, but we figured it out. But
Yeah.
it was like one of those moments where we were like, "Oh,
we're gonna destroy everyone's ears."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. I don't know. I think it's also in a world of like when the unknown, like we don't know that this world, right? So it's like when you don't know, it's like when was the last time you ever did a sound check for a DJ set?
Never. I mean,
exactly.
God, too long ago to remember.
Yeah, a long
right
time
when
ago.
you're at the beginning and you're like, I need to try this and I need to work out, but like.
Yeah.
Most of the time you turn up and you're like, okay, the mix is fucked. We're going to roll with it. Like, let's just do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. It's so true.
When the faders comes off.
When the knob comes off. Yeah.
Oh, that's so annoying.
For a while.
That's the worst.
Album process. I know you guys don't necessarily, you're not always writing together. But putting dreamscapes together, like how long is that process for you guys and like what does it take?
So we wrote it all last year, right?
Yeah. I think it's a year from like start to finish in the process.
Maybe even a year and a half. I think we started a little bit before that. Well, because we'll also have tracks that we write and we save them for, we think, oh, this is like more of an album track.
Or they never come out.
Or they never. Yeah, but there's, we like to write kind of more down-tempo stuff that isn't so clubby, and we always kind of put that aside for either kind of, well, not really a B-side anymore because I feel like no one ever wants that anymore. But yeah, it'll be like an album track.
Yeah.
But yeah, about a year, and we have so many ideas and kind of so many different ways of writing. It will be, like us and a guitar or just chords. We like to start pretty raw, and then build a kind of electronic elements around that, as long as when we have a song and we have a vocal we really love. Or we'll have a groove. Fur loves to make a ton of grooves, and then if we can't sometimes like get a top line, we have a few people that we love to work with, who write really beautiful songs as well. We have so many instrumental tracks where we're like, we can't get anything on this.
Can't think of anything.
Yeah.
It's nice being able to, especially writing an album, being able to build like a crew of people that is your like go-tos. And then they turn into your go-tos for the rest of your career. And it's like, these people just work. And kind of, that's how the sound of who we are kind of turns into, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
We love to collaborate as well.
Yeah.
We really do. I think you can have so many.
Which is fun. It's just fun, like getting different brains on something and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and,
for sure,
seeing what comes out of that.
Yeah, I think it's about just pushing everything, right? And it's like, it's very easy. You guys can sit in a room and make an Eli Fur record all day long, and probably you can do the same over and over again and probably going to get the same outcomes. But I think if the minute you get into a room with people that are in different walks of life, you either get something good or you get something even worse.
Yeah, it's so true.
But you learn the lesson.
You'll definitely
100%.
learn something from it.
Yeah. How in your head do you guys get about numbers?
Do you mean like with
numbers?
like streaming or followers or likes?
Streaming,
Comments?
ticket sales, all of the
know.
above.
Ticket sales, I think, are important.
Yeah,
the most important to us because
definitely.
Ticket sales, I think, are the most accurate representation of what's going on. Right?
Yeah,
that's what you want. I mean, unless you've got like a bunch of, I don't know, you're doing really well in a bunch of like elderly homes, and that's where all your streams are coming from.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And that's great.
Oh, what? You know, I just thought of loads of old people.
Don't cry. But yeah, I think that is quite quantifiable. I don't know if you feel like that at all. I mean, I'm sure there's some cities that we might play in and do rubbish in. So I don't specifically mean territories. I just mean like that would be how you try and kind of work something, I guess. If you're selling something out, you're like, okay, we're doing all right in California, or we're doing all right in London, but maybe we need to do some work there. Am I maybe by territory? I don't know.
I totally agree with you.
Is that old school?
She's an agent. Should have been an agent.
Should have been an agent. Been in the business too long. I think
do you feel that way?
No, I totally agree. I think it's actually gone back to that where it's the only tangible way to kind of gauge what your worth is.
Exactly. I mean, like, you buy a ticket to somebody's show, you care about that.
Yeah.
Like, that
speaks louder than an Instagram follow.
Yeah. Or, you know, if you're buying, I suppose also if you're buying the vinyl, but that speaks louder than Instagram.
I don't know. I think
no, but Fur, I think you had it like, and I think this is the crazy thing of like how times have changed, right? Because I think maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, especially pre-COVID, I think we would be having a conversation about how many followers you have, right?
Yeah.
Not how many tickets you have. Then we went into that how many streams you get in, and then we all realized that you can have 40 million streams on a record that no one cares about because it's been put on a playlist that no one's really paying attention to who you are.
Yep.
But
100%.
Can you sell out the Fonda? Can you sell 2,000 tickets in New York? What is that actual value as you as an artist and in the market? And I think it's actually, you don't need the millions of streams. You don't need the hundreds of thousands of followers. You need 2,000 people.
Yeah, literally. You just need, which I suppose you could argue is engagement in some ways, but then, you know, a lot of people aren't seeing certain things. I mean,
exactly.
That's a whole nother
thing. You're relying on, I mean, we talked about this to I mean, all the time, but you're relying on just algorithms and all that kind of thing. And it is sad, but is there another way of, you know, connecting with that true core fan base? Not really. I mean, I feel like there has to be a shift. There has to be some kind of change, but I feel like it's been a long time coming.
I agree.
When it happens, it can't stay like this forever. And
I think it's slowly going that way. I think what people are seeing is like the artists taking kind of the power back, whether that's in emails, whether that's in text messages, whether that's in Discords, or like it's not refined yet. It's not where it should be, but it feels like it's slowly moving. Like the way like streams are down massively across the whole board for everyone. Like maybe does that mean that the numbers were inflated beforehand and actually now we're getting our true fans listening? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, maybe so maybe it's actually more realistic. That's like a really interesting way of looking at it. And we're also, I mean, I know we all complain a lot about, about social media and all that stuff, but it is incredible now to be able to reach everybody and like cultivate that fan base.
I genuinely love it.
We have, I think everybody has been kind of obsessed with numbers. And then when numbers have it started to seem a little bit, it's changed definitely. I think everyone gets, they lose those endorphins or whatever. But I think it makes people kind of think in different ways and try and connect more directly to those people who are buying the tickets. So,
I think it's really important. I think I've been watching a lot more on YouTube recently and kind of watching how other people do it outside of the music industry, and it feels that the follower, the subscriber, whatever that is becoming less and less valuable. And it's more about how do you create like super fans and people that actually are going to engage into whatever you do, whether that's they buy the vinyl, whether that's they buy their merch, whether that's they buy a ticket, or whether that I don't know what the other thing is, but like it feels like it's going to go that way. And does that mean that your numbers look as big and you look as famous as that? No, but like if you can do a tour and sell 10,000 tickets,
it's definitely worth more.
It's worth
Also,
way more.
That's like the cool thing about the time now. It's all, you've got all these little like tribes, haven't you? You've got all these. I mean, there's so many artists now who have like millions of followers that none of us have ever heard. So I think that there's no, like, the household name is disappearing, and it's giving so many more people opportunities. I mean, obviously it's more competitive in a lot of ways, but it just means that you can like access that small amount of people and do what you love. It doesn't need to be on this huge scale. It can be a job that you adore and you love, and you have like a dedicated following. So there are incredible, like, beautiful aspects to that.
100%. And I think niches are gonna go that way. Like you said, we've all seen it. We've all seen people that have like, you've never heard of them. There's more people that I've never heard of in this music industry than ever before, and they're way more successful than all of us put together. And you're like, what the fuck?
It's wild.
It's crazy.
But it also gives me hope, right? It gives me hope that like it's still, there's still the ability to keep growing and growing and keep reaching new people.
Exactly. There's so many people out there to reach. Like, it's just kind of infinite possibilities.
So are we doing a live tour 2025? What's going on?
I
think it's possible.
I'm like, we need to just chill for a second.
No, I think what we want to do is we want to write some more music, and then we'll be like, let's go.
Yeah, we need like.
I think
like
that's
6
what's
months.
lacking right now is new music.
Yeah,
I think once we have that, we'll be so excited to do it live.
Yeah, I think we spent so much time doing all this
and everything else. Yeah.
We need to I think we'll probably make music we love. I mean, I don't know.
We're going to try like December, January, February to just be like really focused on music.
Yeah. And then we're doing like a tour after that, but not live.
DJ tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make some money for a bit.
Yeah. Gotta survive.
Recoup. I was having that conversation with my parents the other day.
Oh yeah.
Just having dinner, and I was like going through everything, and they were like, so what are you doing next year? And I'm like, oh, I don't fucking know. Like, they were like, how are you gonna earn money? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, please don't ask me this right now.
So
oh, that's so oh my god, that parent pressure.
Oh,
what are you doing with your life?
To be fair, no, they're like all for it. They're like.
No, I love that. I mean, I guess they have to be for doing like something, being a musician or DJ.
We've been in it for too long for them to go, come on, go get a real job.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, they know what we're doing.
Yeah, but you do get the occasional. So what's next question for sure.
It's always when it turns to be a new year, then that happens.
Yeah. How are the? My mom's always like, how are the streams? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they're great.
They're really bad. Let's be honest, they're really bad.
They're disastrous.
No one's listening to my music, and I'm absolutely fucked. And I'm spending a fortune on going to do a live show, and I don't know, it might work.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thank you. To be fair, I genuinely feel so much better after this conversation, because like to know that you guys are going through it as well and enjoying it is the main thing.
To you talking about it, because we're all
we want to come to your show
in the same boat. Yeah, we're going to be here.
Please. Yeah. Are you going to be in LA?
We'll buy a ticket because we support the artist.
Yeah.
We don't ask for guest list.
No. God, no.
It's fine. We'll get you guest list.
No.
Although
like
I
to
am
watch.
literally-
No, we buy tickets.
No one that we didn't let anybody. We told everybody to buy tickets. We were like, nah, no guest list.
I'm
my mum
doing
bought
the
a
same.
ticket
Yeah.
Yeah,
to the show.
Same.
We got.
I'm doing the same. Like, I'm happy to do guest lists on DJ shows, but like everyone is buying tickets.
Yeah. Good.
It's
Good
like,
plan.
got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. I've loved this conversation.
I love
I'm
having
sure.
you.
Yeah, super
Let's-
inspiring.
Let's try and do it in person in the new year, or
Okay.
like when you're keying up to your next live show and your next album. Because I'd love
just
to.
chat. I want to hear how the whole tour goes for you. And all
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
to compare notes.
Exactly. I can't wait. Right. Love you both. Thank you so much. And keep safe.
Chat soon.
Peace.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
curry.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. And that's a wrap. Big love to everyone that came on. Thanks for listening. I love you all. Keep safe. Till next time.